I'm going to try to take a thumbnail with this huge pile of books. Okay, time to put it down. Ooh. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chia, and today I'm here to do a gigantic book haul. I haven't done any big book shopping in a few months. I think the last time I went to Barnes & Noble was maybe April. And the reason why I wanted to do that was because I was trying to put myself in sort of like a book buying band, because my physical TBR is kind of insane right now, and I was trying to work my way down through my physical TBR. And I am, doing well on that. But there were so many good books that came out over the past few months that I just couldn't help myself. And also, when I watch other YouTubers, I have like a gigantic list where I want to buy right away, and the list just got too big. And of course I went into Barnes & Noble just thinking to pick up a couple of books, which I succeeded in, but Amazon was where I kind of really went off the rail. But let's get started. So in no particular order, I'm just gonna work through the pile. I'm not gonna do like big synopsis on it, because most likely they'll either be featured in reading vlogs in the future, or they're gonna be like featured in monthly wrap-ups. I'll go more in depth in those videos, but this one will just be like a quick synopsis. The first book on the pile is Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. This book is sort of like an urban fantasy, follows a girl named Lilith. So I guess it's like an urban fantasy mafia kind of thing. I found this copy on Amazon. I think like it's like sort of like a special edition thing. It's not necessarily a special edition, but look at the front cover. That's gorgeous. And then also in pages, they didn't put like the map on the usual like front cover of the book or like the hardcover, but they put it on the desk cover, and I thought that was really cool. And there's like different like areas around the city, and I like the fact that it's urban fantasy. Raven-haired Reader is one of my favorite creators, and she raves about this book. She talked about it in like a recent reading vlog that she did, and so of course she convinced me to pick it up, and I am trying to pick it up maybe closer to fall time, because I did read the first few pages, but I just felt like the whole entire like atmosphere and feel of it feels a lot more towards like fall time. So I'm gonna pick it up around that time, maybe around September, who knows, maybe next month. But since it is still August, I did go ahead and pick up Problematic Summer Romance. This is by Ali Hazelwood. The only book I've ever read by Ali Hazelwood was the Christmas novella that she came out with in December, and I really enjoyed the writing in that. So I thought that this would be a good book to read, since we're in the last month of summer and everything, and I am going to be reading this in a summer reading vlog, so stay tuned for that. And I heard that like this one would be a good introduction to her books, because it's a lot more of a lighter themed, and also it's set in like southern Italy or something like that. So I thought it would be perfect to read during the summertime, and I've heard nothing but great things about this. So let's see. I know nothing about this. I just know that it's sort of like an age gap romance. I don't really read a lot of age gap romances, and Maya is the main female character, and she has a crush on her brother's best friend, and he is 38 and she's 23, and I guess like they have like a sort of whirlwind romance while they're over there, and I'm excited to see it. The next book I picked up was My Friends by Frederick Bachman. I have yet to read any Frederick Bachman books, and I heard this is amazing. It's a recent release of his that came out a couple months ago or last month or something, and I thought it'd be perfect to read since like it's still summertime. It's perfect because like if you see the cover, there's like friends who are like in a swimming pool, and nothing screams summer more than like swimming pools. I heard amazing things about Frederick Bachman's writing. I know that he wrote Beartown, Anxious People, and those are books that have like such high ratings. I hear nothing but great things about it, and I eventually want to read Beartown, but I heard it's very hard-hitting because there are serious topics that are discussed in that book, so I wanted to choose like a sort of lighter option. I heard there's still like a little bit of sad topics in here, but I wanted this to be like my first introduction to his writing, and I cannot wait to read this book. So hopefully soon I'll pick it up. The next book I picked up was another highly anticipated read of mine, and it's Great Big Beautiful Life. At this point in time, I've already read it, so you will know my thoughts in my August wrap-up. And I wanted to pick this up because I'm a huge Emily Henry fan. I've read so many of her books, and this is probably one of the only 2 books that I haven't read yet. And so at this point, the only book I have left of hers is Book Lovers. I know that she has sort of like a young adult one that was written like a few years back that I might want to pick up in the future, but I haven't heard a lot of like any opinions about it, so we'll see. This book is a lot more literary fiction than it is romance because it also is very similar to Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This one follows two characters who are trying to interview someone named Margaret, who is a part of the old Hollywood past, and she invites them to come interview her, and they're sort of like competing for a chance to write her memoir, and it's between her and a character named Hayden. And Alice is sort of like I want to say she's a writer for a newspaper, and she's done a lot of like celebrity pieces, and she was called to the island in like off of the coast of Georgia, and they go and try to compete to see who would write Margaret Ives' like memoir. But I had my thoughts on this, but you will know about it soon. I went into the anticipation of it that it's not going to be fully romance, so if you haven't picked this book up yet, I would suggest that prepare for it to not be completely about the relationship in this, because I feel like when I heard a lot of reviews about it, a lot of people said that it wasn't about that it was more centered on Margaret's story. And so I am excited that Emily Henry is venturing into different avenues rather than focusing on contemporary romance. I think she's an amazing writer, and I am excited to see more of her literary fiction works. The next book I picked up was This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I've been hearing about this book since last summer, but of course I didn't want to pick it up over the last year because I wanted to wait till it got warmer again, and now we're in the middle of it, and I finally picked it up, and I can't wait to read this. I heard it's an amazing summer romance. I don't know too much about it. I think it's best friend's brother, and it's off like the Prince Edward Island, and it's such a great vacation book, so I'm excited to read this too. And this will also be read in my Reading Summer Romance vlog, so it should be posted after this one. And the next book is another highly anticipated read of mine. It's Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. She just announced this in June. It came out in July. It's sort of like a 90s setting. She teased about this book on her Instagram, posting all of these like 90s pop culture references, and this is another like toxic romance between a singer and an actress or model, I think. I've been hearing kind of like mixed reviews about it. I heard that it's just gonna be full-on toxic romance, but I am in love with Jess's writing, so I am so excited to read this nonetheless, and I want to read it soon because I didn't even expect for this book to come out at all. I don't think anybody did, since she literally announced it a month before it came out. This is gonna be exciting because I didn't expect to have another Jessa Hastings book to read. And the next book is a fantasy, and it's a romantasy, and it's Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. I think this is her debut novel, but I heard amazing things about this book from Bailey Reads. There's only been one or two books that she has recommended that I didn't like, but everything else I have loved that she's recommended, and she was raving about this book. I think she gave it a 5 stars, and also M's Fun Books also suggested this book too. She said that if you love Cruel Prince and how cruel the fairies are in this book and how deep in lore and magic it is, then you will love this book, and I'm so excited to read it. I heard that it's more about like female friendships, female relationships, and how they are evolved in this book, and I'm excited to read that. And also I'm excited to read a lot more, like, you know, we don't really get a lot of like deep magical books where it's about very whimsical, and I loved Stephanie Garber's writing, and this one is apparently a lot more like the darker fae with like the whimsical vibes. I already started this book. I'm like 100 pages in, and I'm liking it so far, but I will let you know my full thoughts once I finish this book. But yes, I'm so excited for this, and look how pretty the cover is. It's like all like nature inspired, because I think there's like different houses in this book, and she becomes like the human servant of this book, and it's in a world where they worship like the fairies and everything, even though there hasn't been really a fairy sighting in a few hundred years. And her village that she lives in always sacrifices 4 females every 5 years, and they cross over this area called the bog, and over the bog is supposedly on the other side there's like a fairy world. She knows the bog really well because she goes there every day to hunt for treasures that she can sell, because she is living on her own. Her mom passed away a few years ago because she was sick, and the only person she really cares about in this town is her best friend. And one year her best friend gets called to be one of the sacrifices for like the fairies, and so since she knows the bog really well, she goes into the bog to try to rescue her friend and the other girls, and to basically lead them either out of the bog or maybe they could find the fairy world. This sounds like such a good read, and I am so excited to finish reading it. The next book I picked up is The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. I heard this is more like a epic fantasy rather than like a romantasy, and it follows a character character who is a halfling, half fairy, half human. The halflings are sort of like shunned in this world. It starts off where she is getting executed because she is caught to be a halfling, and it sort of like follows a commander who rescues her when she's about to be executed, and she has a strange birthmark on her chest, and the wind she instinctively calls forth means she is a remnant. So one of the four souls scattered across Anwivin? Oh my god. I have to look up the pronunciation of that. And so she's one of the four remnants, so she's like uber powerful and everything. And I heard amazing things about this. It's like more elemental. And she's more of the wind weaver. I can't wait to read this. And also, oh my god, I really need to stop doing this. I did find the Fairy Loot version of this book, and I saw that a seller on Pango was selling it for a very, very reasonable price. It was like the original price for it and everything. So of course I ordered it, and it's supposed to be coming this week. I need to stop doing this. I need to stop picking up special editions of books that I haven't read yet. But I just couldn't not get it, so I'm waiting for that to come in and then I'm going to start reading it. So I hope I like this because I already bought 2 versions of it. So yeah, we'll see. And the next one I picked up was Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. Elise Kova is known for her books of, I think it's like Deal with the Elf King or something. I heard about that. Yeah, it says she has written the Married to Magic novels. So she also wrote the Air Awakens series, which is also my TBR. I don't know when I'm ever gonna get to that series because I have so many books to read, as you can tell by this full haul that I'm doing. I've heard amazing things about this. I know that Hallie Reads here on YouTube, she read the ARC version of this book and she absolutely loved it. I think she gave it a 5 stars, and she compared it a lot to Harry Potter because it's set in a magical academy, but instead of like a wand system for their magic system, it's more of a tarot card magic system. Her name is Clara, and Clara is in a prison, and she gets rescued by Prince Kalis, who is the headmaster of the school. He strikes a deal with her that she can earn her freedom by going to the academy and being his spy, because he has sort of like a mission that he wants her to do to recreate this very, very rare card. So I'm so excited to read this book. I've heard amazing things about it, and Hallie Reads and I have very similar taste in books. I'm excited to read a more like, I guess it's like more of like an adult version of the Academy, and I love the version that I got right here. And then not too extravagant, it's like just like little stars, and then it's gold foiled, of course. And I got this from Amazon, so see if you can like get this version on Amazon. It came out beginning of July, and again, it's one of those books where I started reading it first, and I started reading the first few chapters and I'm really interested. And the prince is sort of giving me like similar vibes to, what's his name from Six of Crows? Whoa, that's the wrong series. Prince Kalis is giving me Kaz vibes from Six of Crows. So I am so excited to read this, and I can't wait to see if I like the female main character or not, because when I was reading it the first few chapters, I didn't get a strong feeling from her yet. It's just the first few chapters, so I'm not like really expecting much right now. It's gonna be a similar one where I'm going to save it for the fall, because it's similar to like, you know, going back to school for fall break after like September, August time. So I can't wait to pick this up. I'm so excited. And then the next book I picked up is probably like my last like summer read book, and this is The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand. I have already read this book. I finished it. Again, you will know it in my summer reading vlog, and I have never read any of her books. I know that she writes a lot of books that are set in Nantucket because that's where she's from, and I love how summery this book is. If you like the movie Love Actually and also New Year's Day, where it goes around to different characters and different stories, you follow this character who gets hired to be a manager at this hotel Nantucket, where it's sort of like cursed hotel, where every single time an owner acquires it, it gets sold within a few years or it fails really badly. And there's also like a sort of paranormal element in this book because we do see a perspective from a ghost. Sounds very silly, but I thought it was well done. And this book is different perspectives where you follow different characters. You not only see the going-ons of like the hotel guests, but also the employees who work here too, and they all have different secrets, which I love. Well, these next 2 books are also recommendations from Bailey Reads. The first book is Exorcism of Fairies by J.L. Vampa. I heard this was similar to Nocticadia, where it's sort of like a dark academia book, and it's also, I'm assuming, about fairies because it's the Exorcism of Fairies, and it's a character who is a mortician, and she falls for like her her academy professor because she starts attending academy. Like I said, I don't know much about it, but if Bailey Reads recommends it, I'm going to pick it up. And this one, again, is going to be picked up closer to fall time because it's sort of like a darker vibe to it. So that will be coming up next. And also, I picked up A Stark View because of how disappointed I was in the Silver Elite book. I wanted to pick up another dystopian book because it made me realize how much I miss the dystopian worlds. And it's by Alexis Patton. And oh, this is a debut novel of hers. I know the second book is already out for the series. I think it's going to be a trilogy. I am not too sure, but I'm excited to pick this up, and I'm hoping it gives me the dystopian vibes that I'm looking for. And the second to last book of the haul is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. It has like the darker gothic vibes that are more suited for closer to the fall, so I'm going to pick it up probably next month. I've mentioned in previous videos before, if you've watched my other videos, I love Rachel Gillig. I've gotten so many editions of the Shepherd King duology. I absolutely fell in love with that world. I think that like she does gothic fantasies really well, and I heard amazing things about this book. It came out in May and I finally picked it up, and I am so disappointed because I wanted to pick up the Barnes & Noble edition that had the special sprayed edges on it, and there was like a different like art on it, I think. But this edition is still pretty. I did still pick this up from Barnes & Noble, but I was very upset that I couldn't get this sprayed edges one, but it's okay. If I end up liking this book, which I have very high expectations that I will like this book, I will look for like a special edition of it because I do have special editions for the Shepherd King duology. I have the Barnes & Noble one, and I'm also pre-ordering the one that's coming out later on this year too, that she just announced on her Instagram. So I'm so excited to read this. Rachel Gillig is a huge favorite author of mine, and I can't wait to see more books by her. And this one is set sort of like in a cathedral, and it follows a character named Six. Her real name is Sybil, and she's one of the 6 diviners, I guess. People come in all over her town who come into the cathedral, and they always pay to ask for like a sort of a divination thing where they see the future. And then I know that like there's like gargoyles in this too, so it's giving me that dark gothic fantasy that I really love for fall. I'm noticing that I'm really loving gothic fantasies. It's calling to me more than regular fantasies are now, so I'm so excited to read this book. And the last one is going to be another one that I'm going to read closer to the fall time because it's set in an academy, and it's called Blood and Betrayals Book 1. I don't know how long this is going to be as a series. It is called the Avalon University series. I'm so intimidated by how long this book is. It's like 700 pages, almost 700 pages, and if you read the Kindle version of it, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, it's almost 1,000 pages. And I'm interested to see what the author has to say in a 700 page book when it's her debut novel. So I heard amazing things about this book. I heard the ending is amazing, and if you love Zodiac Academy, to pick this one up, but it's like a darker version of it. And I'm just like looking at the font, like, see how small that font is? That's ridiculous for a 700 page book. But I'm excited to pick it up nonetheless. This is an indie published book, and I will see how I get on with this book. Right now, I'm still like in the middle of my Zodiac Academy journey, and I'm hoping this one is a little bit more written maturely than the Zodiac Academy is, because as I've stated before in like my previous Zodiac Academy like videos and stuff like that, I've said how Zodiac Academy is just one big eye roll for me, but yet it's an addicting eye roll, and it's set in like a reality TV show kind of deal, and I heard this one is similar to that, so we shall see how it is. That is all my haul for today. I'm excited to read all of these books, but I really need to stop buying books. I have way too many books on my physical TBR again, and I worked my way down just to buy some more, and now I don't even have room in my TBR cart, so I need to figure out where to put all these books. But thank you for watching nonetheless. Thank you for supporting my channel. We are almost at 200 subscribers, and I'm so excited for that. And thank you for all your support and liking and subscribing and commenting on my videos. It really is appreciated, and it helps my channel a lot. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.